Hi. For all of you who think that um, this drug game don't affect you and these crooked officers don't affect you and, you know, people being pushed into certain things don't affect you, watch the Kalief Browder story. A young man was arrested, didn't do anything, wasn't charged with anything, and they said they were going to release him, but he has to do a plea deal. So he's saying, well, I didn't do anything. Why should I plea? And they punished him because they was after him. NYPD was after him, and the legal system, because the officers who arrested him had people in the DA department, and then they had people on Rikers, and this is how it goes. So the young man, didn't do a plea deal, so he was sent on the island, and the PD people talked to Rikers people, and the young man was constantly fighting. I mean, I never met him, or I wasn't there at the time, or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to see what year it was or whatever, but this is what happens. And he was in a different jail than me, I think. And the young man got beaten up constantly by gangs. And I'm watching the show, and he was being carried out by an officer, and the officer just grabbed him and pushed him to make it look like Kareem was doing something. And me as an officer, and I was looking how he was carrying out the officer, everything seemed fine. And then all of a sudden, he slammed Kareem on the floor, and all the officers started running, because this is what happens. This is what happens in the industry, in this gang cult, in this culture, the police gang culture. How dare you? Don't you know we got people all over the place? Oh, you're not going to bow down to us. You're not going to do what we tell you to do. Okay, so you think you're going to get away and you go on the island? Yeah. You got depths and captains. We got depths and captains up there, and they're going to make sure. And then remember, the guys is working for the depths, the inmates. Some of the inmates is working for the depths and captains because they doing that to the inmates. They putting charges on the inmates, so they won't leave, or they threatening the inmates, and they use their power. I mean, if they used it on me, what about the inmates? You understand? So for those who's saying, oh, she's a snitch and she's this, and yeah, but okay, maybe it's not your crew, but suppose your family member got arrested for something and you in the drug game or whatever the case may be, and they want you to do drugs, sell drugs for them, or they want all your drugs from your family or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? This is what they do. And then, the young man was so psychologically scarred. They said he hung himself. He took his life after they released him out of prison, because when he was on the island, he was in solitary confinement, because every time he come out, they would send the gangs after him. They're boys, because I guess when he got in there, he didn't want to hustle their drugs for them. So then they started beating him up, and so they had to put him in solitary. Then the officers got at him. The officers who's members of these drug gangs, yeah. So think about it. It may not, I may look like, oh, she's a snitch and she's this and she's that and she don't like our family. Yeah, because your family suck. If you want to be a drug dealer, stay on the street. Don't become an officer. So when I hear a long line of family being in working for law enforcement, I take a second thing. I'm like, oh, okay. At first, I was proud as an officer, but then when you as an officer and you see what you see, you be like, oh, okay, that's why all their family come here, because they run in the drug game. Yeah, that's what they do. So my thing may not affect you, but it's gonna affect you sooner or later, especially if you're doing it on your own. You understand? And they want your drugs, and they be like, "Oh, you on my block? No, I'm gonna get my boys in NYPD or my girls in NYPD to arrest your ass, and they gonna send you up to the island, and we gonna deal with you. You understand? And then the DA, I seen all that firsthand. You understand? So look at that. Look at the Kalief Browder story. Look at it. It's a Netflix series, but it's on YouTube, and it tells you the story. You know, it's called 13th, full feature Netflix. It's an hour and 40 minutes. Look at it. It was, that's just some of the things that's happening. So don't think it's not going to affect you. Even if you are in the drug game and you're not working for them, they're going to get at you. NYPD first, you understand? Because that's what they there for, they boys. And they girls, see a lot of girls, yeah, because I told you. Officer told me, oh, anything that comes in this precinct, I know about it. So ain't nothing getting past me. And then when you go in, first line, they right there waiting for you. And they laughing in their head. Fucking bitch, she coming to report shit. You understand? She coming to report shit about one of my peoples. She ain't getting nowhere with that shit. Where she thinks she... Yeah, and it's true. I got nowhere. I took pictures of them. I'm trying to, see if I can get it on YouTube. But YouTube was only for videos, so I'm gonna put it. I put it on my site, so you can go on my Instagram and dig it up. It's supposed to be in there for long ago. I'll probably repost it. But yeah, that's what these people do. They force you into their lifestyle. They force you into their lifestyle. You understand? This drug game. You understand? Or she just no. Mm-mm. Even if you in the game and you ain't working for them, they gonna come at you. All right, so keep doing you.